So these are all the different types of shells available, starting with the cat command. So cat, as I've said before, it displays the content of the file, and it also allows us to create one or more files. It is also helpful to concatenate files. That means we can combine two files using the cat command. So we have already seen one example before, cat etc shells. So this is the other way of using the cat command. So I was explaining you about the cat command. So here we have seen some examples. All right. So cat is basically used to display the content of a file, and cat is also used to display the content of multiple files. You can redirect the content. You can redirect the content of both the files to a new file like file 2. This is the redirection operator used. The content will get redirected to the other file, and there is another option called as double redirection. All right. So the first, once if you redirect it, it redirects to a file. Say if you are redirecting some other content to the same file. Okay. So first we have done this operation. The content present in this and this file is present in cat file 2. We'll check that. Okay, we got the content. Now what I'm doing is I'll take the content of some other file, cat test.sh, and I'm redirecting to file 2. Now what happens? So the content is overwritten here. Okay. Say the scenario is I don't want to overwrite it. I want to append it to the existing content. What should I do? All right. So then we have something called a redirection operator. Okay. If you do a redirection, now what happens is the new content will get appended to the existing content. Okay. You can see the same content has been pasted, copied twice. All right. If you do it again, this is how the content will get appended. So these are some important operations of using cat command. Guys, I hope you can see my screen. All right. So next we have some other important commands here, starting from ls, cd, more, cat, mkdir. These are very basic commands that we use throughout the course, throughout learning, all the server or whatever we do, we will be using these commands. So be familiar. I hope you already have used these commands. So starting from, we'll start from the first. Okay, ls command. So ls, it will list the contents of the current folder. So so the important thing that you have to remember here are the man pages, and every flavor of Linux operating system you'll get to see the man pages. All right. So every command will take arguments. Okay. If you take ls here, there is something called -l. Okay. So there is a lot of information associated when you create a file. All right. So if you want to see that information, you need to provide multiple arguments to the ls command. Okay. And if you want to see all the arguments that are applicable for a command, you need to check the man page, man ls. Okay, here you will get to see all the arguments. All right. So like that, for every command you can check the man page. Usually we max remember some 3 to 4 arguments. So here ls-l, it will give a long listing. So here you can see something here. We'll discuss this. This is related to permissions, ownership, the group that the file or the owner who has created this file belongs to. That means, okay, we'll see that later, and some more information and the timestamp with regarding the file. All right. This information, similar information, is also present for the directories. All right. So how do you differentiate the directories here? So just remember here, if you find a hyphen in the beginning of the line, it's a file, and then if you find a D, it is a directory. Alright, so we'll see about these conventions later, how the files are identified. So this is how. So again, now we have seen hyphen L argument, then we'll see another argument called hyphen A. Hyphen A will see the difference between ls and hyphen A. Here it is displaying a lot of files that start with a dot. Alright, so when you create a file with a dot, automatically the file will be hidden. Okay, touch, I'm creating a dot file starting with a dot. Alright, now do ls, so you will not find that file here. When I do ls hyphen A, it will display all the files including the hidden files. Okay, so this is the dot file. Similarly, if you create a directory with a dot, it will only get displayed when you use hyphen A argument. Okay, so this is how. There are a lot of important some of the other important arguments are like we can see the size of the file or the particular directory as a part of the ls command itself. We can ask the command to list all the files, as per the date format, date of creation date, or you can reverse that. Okay, so all these features, when you get to a specific situation, or if you have a specific requirement when you want to implement something, I want to display like this, or I want files with higher size, they have to be displayed based on the requirement. We make use of the arguments, but just for now, remember all the arguments are present in the man pages. Okay, then I'm currently clear is the command to clear the screen. pwd present working directory, I'm here, and if I want to change the directories, okay, cd is the command to change the directory. Okay, cd space / topmost directory, pwd, I'm in this directory, ls, I'm listing the contents. This is the first level, all the important folders. Okay, and by default, if I use cd without any argument, okay, observe here, I'm logged in as a user Saran. Okay, so as a Saran, I use default cd. Okay, automatically I'll be taken to my home directory. Wherever I am, by default cd will take me to my home directory. Okay, other than that, you need to clearly specify the folder structure where you want to go. Okay, / say etc networks. I'm sorry. Go to some other folder / home. See, yes, there is something called admin user. Okay, I'm not allowed. So this is how it is. Okay, so users, so this comes under the restriction. How users are restricted, they're not allowed to others folders. Okay, so the main thing is here you need to provide the exact path, okay, where you have to go. Then the other commands here, okay, mkdir, and then we have more command. Okay, now we have seen how to create a blank file using touch command. All right, and then we know how to create content in that file. We have seen cat redirection operator. Okay, file 4, here you can add some content. Okay, and then cat file 4, automatically the content is present. Okay, and the next thing is mkdir, make a directory. How do you make a directory? This is the command. Okay, I want to create a new directory, ls -l. You can see new dir, this is the directory. Okay, and it starts with d. Okay, now I've created a new directory, cd new directory. Now see the, so this is how we move to the new directory. All right, and then the next one is the more command. So if you want to list some specific, if you want to open a file, say you have a big file. Okay, I'll give you a better example. There is something called man page, right? Man ls. So man ls will display the man page for ls. What I'm doing is, so basically I need a big file. I'm trying to redirect it to a new file. I've created a file called man ls. Okay, when I do a man command, man ls, see, basically what this command does is it will dump the entire content to your screen. Okay, irrespective of the size of the file. Once again, or take a small example, home server, you can call test file, cat home server test. Okay, so whatever content is there, it will simply display to your screen. Okay, similarly, now I've created a bigger file, man ls, so it has displayed to the screen. Rather than displaying it like that, again I have to move the cursor just to go through the content of the file. Rather than doing that, what we can do is we can use a more command. Okay, now so you'll see it will display part of the file. You can press enter, okay, and slowly go through the content of the file. Control C, back to the prompt. Okay, so this is how we make use of the more command. So far, if you have observed, okay, the way I'm executing the instructions on the command prompt here, if you have observed, so I've said that bash shell has some features. All right. So what those features are? You might have seen the up and down arrow on your keyboard, right? So here, if you press the upward arrow, okay, you will get to see all the commands that I've used before. Okay, the shell remembers, it maintains a history of all the commands that we have used before. All right, and another important like that, there are many features with the bash shell. Okay, so another feature is the auto completion feature. All right, say this command is there, cat. I will type m, press the tab. Okay, it will complete the name of the file. That is the auto completion feature. All right. Other features that we have seen in the beginning, some of the commands we have seen in the beginning. Now see, cat here, Control A, press Control A, it will bring the cursor to the beginning of the line. Okay. Similarly, Control E will bring the cursor to the end of the line. So these are some of the commands that we have seen in the beginning slides. All right, which I mentioned that I will explain later. So this is how we can make use of this command. Similarly, another important one is Control R. Okay, it will do a reverse search. What I'll do is I'll simply I want to use some previous command that starts with mkdir. Okay, mk. Simply start typing mk. It will complete that line. It will fetch the first matching command that starts with mk, and it will display you. Okay, so that is how we make use of the Control R feature. So like that, there are other commands over there that you can refer and you can check on your screen. I mean, check while we practice. We'll move on to the next slide. So with this, we are done here. These commands. Okay, -s. Please go through. If there are any additional arguments in the presentation, you can see those arguments. It's about sorting based on the file size, doing the reverse sort. These are some of the other examples that have been mentioned. And then we have mkdir to make a directory. So cd, this is something we have seen. So cd by default takes you to the home directory. So this tilde symbol, it also refers to your home directory. Okay, if you do cd space tilde, then cd space slash, it will take you to the root file system. And these are we have seen all this pwd, and this one, this is important. Okay, if you do cd space dot dot, it will take you one level up. Okay, now here I am, cd space dot dot. Now what is the pwd? Cd space dot dot pwd. So like that, it will take me one level up in the directory. The tree structure that I mentioned before, it will take me one level up. Okay, So it's very very useful. Other than this, there is another important command with cd, argument with cd, that is hyphen, cd space hyphen. Okay, so what it does is it will take you to the immediate previous directory. Okay, we'll take one example. Now see where I am, pwd home server. I'm going to /10. All right. Now, if I want to go to my previous directory, it will go to home server. The difference between dot dot and hyphen is, so it will only cd space dot dot. It will take you one level up in the hierarchy, and hyphen will take you to the previous directory altogether. All right. This is also very useful. And then comes your mkdir. We have covered this, and mkdir hyphen p. It will ensure that its parent folder is present. And then we have more command. We have covered more as well. Then we have move command. Okay. So these are very basic commands. Make sure that you have practiced well. Alright, the next one. So I have some files. cp means copy command. Okay. Now what I want to do is I want to copy a file. cp, it copies a file. Which file? File 2. Where should I copy it? I want to copy this file to an existing folder. New dir. Alright, enter. It gets copied. ls new dir. See, ls basically it displays the contents of the existing folder. If you do ls space that specific folder name, say ls space, I'll do temp. Okay, it displays the content of the temp folder. All right. Similarly, okay. So that's how ls works. So we were checking that copy command. So I have copied this file to this directory. Now again, I want to copy file 2 to /temp. Okay. So copy this file to this particular location. Or what else you can do is copy. I want to copy a file that is present in temp directory. So I need to provide the exact path cd cp /temp. Take a file called pipe. Okay, and I want to copy this. Here dot refers to the current folder. Remember the notation. Or you can also say my current folder, I guess it is /home server. So you provide, either you provide the path where you want to copy, or if it is the current folder, you can mention it as dot. All right. So it gets copied. Here is your pipe file. Okay. Now, once we have seen how copy works, let's see how move command works. Like Control X. All right. So I want to remove this file from this location and move it to a different. Okay. Then we use move command. Move pipe or move new file to /temp. So what happens is it will remove it. Okay, this is the syntax. Move this file to this location. Okay, cut and copy. So like that, you can also try using move command on a directory. Okay, so with respect to directory, there will be a slight change in the syntax because a directory can have multiple files and folders inside it. All right, so you need to make sure that you move the entire directory. That means including the sub files and folders. Okay, so this is the Capca copy command. Yeah, so you can see here. So with both copy and move, there is an argument called -r. So what -r does is it will try to recursively copy all the content which is present in that particular directory. Okay, so basically here test is taken as an example. Under test you can have multiple files and subfolders. Again in the subfolders you can have multiple subfolders. Okay, so it's basically there can be a big tree structure under it. So we need to ensure that all the tree structure has been moved when you copy or when you move a particular folder. So that is when we make use of the -r command, so that not only when copying, even when you want to delete it, remember this -r argument. While deleting, if you want to make sure that all the subfiles and folders are deleted, we use -r. Similarly, when moving folders, we use -r command. Okay, even when searching for a particular file, we use -r as an argument. It will recursively search for a particular file. Say you want to search a file in a particular folder. Rather than simply searching in that folder, if there are any subfolders, it should also search in the subfolder. Then we use -r. So -r is a important argument. Remember that. So with some other commands, it could be capital R, but in general, remember R as a recursive argument. Okay. Similarly, rm is a command to remove a file. If you want to delete a file, rm. Yeah, there are 3 different ways of using this. I mean, mostly if you take a Linux operating system, right, the entire operating system is made up of files. Remember this line. It's as simple as it is. It's very important as well. Okay, so even your directory is considered as is one kind of file. Okay, the entire operating system is made up of files. Okay, further these files are categorized like directories or device files. Okay, that means all your hardware is identified by a device file. Okay, so you take anything, any networking related devices or your input or output devices, everything will be considered as a single file. Okay, I mean there will be a corresponding file for everything, and it contains the corresponding configuration as well. Okay, so in Linux everything is considered as a file. Okay, but with respect to deleting the files, there are 2 different ways. If you want to delete a regular file, normal file, something that I have indicated before with the hyphen, I mean the files other than directories, you can use an rm command, rm space file name. Okay, so let's move on. But while talking about different commands and all, I whenever topics like this do come about device files or how the system works, internal functionalities, I'm just when I remember, I will give you some pointers in order to understand it. But please give importance to those points as well. They're very important in understanding your system. Alright, and I will also cover the different categories of files. I will show you where these files are present. So as of now, what I was explaining is it's about deleting files and folders in your system other than directories. So when I say directory, when you do ls-l, you will see letter D in the beginning of the line. Okay, so other than directories, if you want to delete any other files, simply use rm command. Okay, rm space any normal file. Okay, that's it. That is, when it comes to directory, there is a small change. If it is an empty directory, your rmdir, remove directory, rmdir, it means remove this empty directory. Alright, so rmdir, now here's something called new dir. It says directory is not empty. That means it only works when the directory is not empty. Alright, so in this scenario, when the directory has content, what you need to do is you can use an rf as an argument recursively and forcefully also. That's it. Okay, so it's very simple. Just remember these 3 options. If you want to delete a normal file, use rm command, rm space file name, or any file other than the directory. If it is an empty directory, rmdir, and if it is a directory with content, then you need to do rm space -r. That means recursively and forcefully you can delete all the content which is present in that subdirectory structure. Okay, then okay, this is what we've seen. Alright, next comes another important topic called as text editors. Alright, so we have here you can see some different editors: Gedit, Nano, Vim. I mostly use Vim editor, VI or VIM. VIM stands for Modified VI Editor. Okay, I'm very comfortable with the features which are present in Vim. I've been using it for a long time. You can also try the other editors which are present here. I'll help you with. I'll explain you some of the features of Vim editor now. So Vim is so text editors are divided into two categories: graphical GUI and also console text editors. So Gedit is a graphical editor. So when you are in GUI mode, okay. So I've been continuously using this word GUI mode, right? I've been using it for a long time. GUI, graphical user interface, where you can get to see tabs, where you can see images for other applications, my home directory, trash, all these options. Okay. So here I'll show this command, okay, which says run level. Okay, this is 5. So I have mentioned before that most of the servers, they do not opt the packages that are related to your graphical user interface. So this graphical part what you see, so there are some packages, so that will help you and enable the GUI prompt for you, GUI interface to you. So most of the servers, this will be disabled. Okay, so how it is disabled is we have multiple run levels in your system. Okay, so just remember these run levels for now. I'll explain in detail about these run levels in the later session. Okay, if you see here, only run level 5 is the graphical mode. Okay, only when you run your system in run level 5, you will get to see the graphics. Okay, whereas if you run the system in other run level, okay, say 3, you will not get to see the graphics. It would completely be a black screen with command prompt. Okay, so I'll show you. I will log into the other run levels as well, and I will explain you what these run levels are and when they're gonna get used. Okay, but so whenever I use, we are into run level 5 graphical level, graphical user mode, we'll get to see all this. Okay, moving on. So here, even in terms of text editors, we have something called Gedit. So when you are in run level 5, you can make use of Gedit. So, but there is a possibility that if you're a Linux administrator, you mostly will be working on the servers and all, where you may not have the run level 5 or GUI mode. So it is important that you either stick to VI or Nano editor. Alright, so these editors basically help you to edit the content of the files. If you want to modify a file, how do you modify a file? So far we have seen how to print the content of the files, print and or using the more command, we can just go through the content of the file slowly. But if I want to modify something in a file, how do I modify the content of the file? Okay, so we'll stick to the VI editor now. We can open a file in a VI editor, and we'll see how to make the changes using the VI editor. Okay, you can even try this graphical editor Gedit. When you do a Gedit /etc password, we'll do it on some other file. Gedit file 4. What it does is it will pop up a new window. It will open the file in a graphical editor. Here my Vim is a bit slow, so it's taking some time. So where you can, okay, you have content displayed. You can delete or you can add some new content here. You can save. and then you close the file. Okay, automatically it gets saved. So this is all about it, editor in general. So when you start working with a VI editor, all right, we'll see different features of VI editor now. We'll take rather a big file. Yes, so I have copied some man pages to this file. All right, so okay, sorry. What I'll do is I'll again take a man page and ls, and I'm redirecting it to a new file. There is a lot of content in the man page. Okay, vi space new file. This is the syntax in order to open a VI editor, open a file in VI editor. Okay, so what happened is, since I've copied the man page, this file content looks similar to the man page. Okay, now see. So I have opened the VI editor. So when you open a VI editor, right? So there are different modes in VI editor. So the first mode where you simply, you can use the up and down arrows to see the content of that file. All right. Then is another mode. There is another mode called as command mode, where you can use the forward slash, and what you can do is you can search the content. See, forward slash, I will use something called automatically the cursor would come over there. Okay, so :0, it will go to the beginning of the file. So there are some options I'll tell you. So if you want to, there is a big configuration file, and you want to quickly go to some parameter in the middle of the file, and you remember what that word is. All right. So what you do is you open the file, use a slash, and use that particular word. We'll use something called shell. All right. So I got the word. So this is the first occurrence of the shell. So when I search like that, the cursor will go to the first occurrence of that word. Okay. Then if you want to go to the next occurrence, simply press N. N will take you to next. N. All right. So this is how we go through we go with the search parameters that we have. Again, :0, it will take you to the beginning of the file. Shift G will bring you to the ending of the file. So knowing these shortcuts will help you in editing big files, and going through the content of the file. And if you, let's see what is that PPT now. So after Gedit, so yeah, this is one quick example. I used VA on the grep.conf file, but I would suggest is you go through these PPTs, but do not try using the making changes to the files that are present in this presentation. There is something called etc password. No, don't open this. This is an important configuration file. Do not practice on these configuration files. Highly recommended. What you do is, the way I have showed you, take a man page, dump the man page to a file. I have showed you how to do it, and then you practice on that. Do not touch the grep.conf files. These are your basic grub related. If you modify this, or if you delete this by mistake, automatically it will affect your system. Okay, yeah, some more commands in the VI editor. Now I have shown you the moment. Okay, we'll quickly start from beginning. VI space file name. Okay, I opened the file, and :0 the start, top of the file, shift G at the end of the file. Okay, and then I told you how to search for the words as well. Okay, the next thing is, say I want to delete a line. All right, so DD will delete the line. If I say 4DD, I'll delete 4 lines. Similarly, It's very simple. We can see it here. Okay, press C twice. All right, it will cut the line, and then followed by P, it will paste the line. You need to move the cursor wherever you want to paste the line. Okay. Similarly, DD will delete the line. DW will delete the word. Okay. Just practice using this. These are very important in fact. So here, yes. Once you're done with the practice of this, so how to delete multiple lines? DD will delete one line. How to delete multiple lines? All right. Paste always works. So here YY stands for copying a line, yanking. So if you do 4 YY, 4 lines will get copied. The next time you press P, it will paste all the 4 lines. Make sure that you move the cursor wherever you want to paste the lines. So you can follow this 4CC 2YY. You can practice all this. You can try escape U. You can undo something, you can redo, you can replace, you can append. Just go through all these shortcuts and just practice these shortcuts. They're very helpful for your VI editor. Some more features are here. If you want to highlight the syntax or some other modes are available here, auto completion features and all. You can also set a built-in spell checker. So you can just read this and you can practice those options as well. And we also have Nano editor here, and you can go through these features and see if you're comfortable using a Nano editor. So mostly it has all the arguments available. Yeah, and one last thing, in the VA editor, you have made all the changes. Okay, and finally :W, you save those changes. You see here all the changes are written to the file. All right, and then Q to quit. Again, you modified something, you want to save and quit at a time, :WQ. That's it. Okay, then comes Nano. Alright, what I suggest here is the way it's given here. You simply open the file, nano space file name. The moment you open the file, similarly, just like vEditor, you can modify as per regarding making changes. You modify the changes. Regarding saving and exiting Nano, the commands are different. You can go through these commands. It's similarly just like a VM editor. It's a different editor, friendly editor. And let me know if you have anything particular, any specific questions regarding the editor. All right, just try using it. And yeah, there are some options given here. The look and feel are a bit different. You have all the options listed down at the bottom of the Nano editor. All right. Okay, guys. If you are new to Linux operating system, I just want to tell you once again, it's all about commands. Okay, so the course will be all about understanding how the system works, or understanding how the service works, and how to make use of the commands. And we have a lot of other utilities. Like if you can see here, we have something called, on the screen you can see awk, scd, grep. Okay, a lot of tools and utilities are coming up. Okay, if you are new to Linux, please practice all the commands that we have covered today, because a lot of commands are going to come up, and we'll gradually, we'll go to the next level of making use of these commands in order to implement, or in order to do some other tasks. We will not be I will not be going through the basics, but at any point of time, if you have questions, please you can raise them. I will explain you. But if you are new to these topics of command, please practice well. before coming to the next session. Okay, practice is very important. Now here, now we have three important tools here: awk, grep, and sed. So awk is altogether, it's considered as a different program. There is a programming language altogether, but we will see the basic usage on how to make use of the awk command and what is the grep command, what is sed. I'll give you one basic examples of how to, where these commands would exactly fit in, and where you can make use of these commands. All right. So one second. Okay. Okay, we'll start with grep command first. Okay, there is see the content here. We have this new file. Alright, it contains a lot of data. Okay, so we searched for a word called shell inside the VA editor. Okay, outside the VA editor, now if I want to display all the lines that contain the word called shell, then I use grep to start simply. Okay, so in a file, this word shell can be repeated multiple times, or it can be once. I'm not sure about it, but I want to display all the lines that contain this word called as shell. Okay, then what I do is grep that particular word and the file name. Okay, now check here. In this line it has a word called shell, this has a word called shell, and here also shell. Okay, so basically what grep does is, it's like a search feature. Okay, it searches for a particular string that we have given. It's a what do you say, pattern matching tool or feature that we have. Using grep we can search for a particular pattern. It's not just grep, but we have also, it's like other tools like fgrep, egrep, you know, searching. Rather than searching with a single word, I can also search with multiple words. Generally these are the questions you might face when you go for interviews. How do you search for multiple words in a file, like grep with X as well as Y, like that. So now that I have listed all this, rather than listing all the content on the screen, what I want is, I just want to know the number of occurrences. That's all. That means number of times grep the word shell is present. All right. So then what happens is, I'm talking about other features of shell. All right. The way I have said before, there are multiple arguments present. With each argument, you'll get a different output. All right. So here, the basic feature is, when you use the grep command, what happens? It will display the lines that are matching the word. The next argument is grep -i. -i, what it does is, it's a case insensitive search. Say shell is present in capital letters, SHELL in caps, or say the first letter S is caps, rest all are small letters. So grep will only search for the exact word that you have given, so it will not consider the case sensitivity. So that's why if you want to search like that, you need to give -i. So bring everything, just word shell. So it will list though such matching words are not present. Alright, so that is the second important argument. Next comes -n. Okay, it only prints the number of lines that are matching. Okay, like that. So here, if you, I hope you're watching my screen. So there is something called grep space inside braces 0 to 9. All right. So this is a kind of regular expression. So if you have time, please go through what exactly a regular expression is. Okay, here this means something, it's from 0 to 9. It represents numbers from 0 to 9. Okay, so we are searching for lines that are matching these numbers. Rather than mentioning all the numbers, I have used an expression here. We call them as expressions. So grep also works with expressions. If you give an expression, it will search for that expression. Okay, so just go through what a regular expression means. So we also have some special characters we'll be making use of in Linux. And yes, here. So here we have seen an example where we are grepping for some string or for some number in a file. Alright, we are searching in a file. Rather than searching in a file, we can also use grep in a different way. That means, if you can see here, right? So here rpm space -qa, whatever it is some command. It will generate some output. Okay, and then there is something called pipe operator. This is called as a pipe. Okay, and then followed by grep space grep. Here what we are doing is we are running some command. I'll give you an example. Okay, ls is displaying something for me. Okay, I want to know in this particular directory, I want to know how many file names are starting with the word test. Alright, if you can see here, ls means it will list the content. What I want to know, I want to grep for file names that start with the word test. Alright, see, grep helps you to search for a string in a file. At the same time, it is also useful to search for the strings. We can also apply grep on an output. Okay, so we can generate some output, and in turn we can apply grep on that output as well. Alright, this is, and here if you observe, there is something called pipe operator. Remember this, it's a very important symbol. So using this operator we can perform multiple operations. Okay, you'll be seeing me using this operator in a lot of scenarios. Okay, so this is another use case. Then we have std command. So regarding run level, see, run level it points to the what do you see? Okay, in a Linux operating system, okay, it will take some time. Okay, let's start. There is something called etc init.d folder. Okay, so it's a bit advanced, but I'll try to make it as simple as possible. Okay, so all your system initialization files. Okay, when you start your system, a set of configuration files would get loaded into your system. Okay, so try to, the next time you start your Linux operating system, try to observe what is happening. It will display a lot of content on the screen, that it is starting this particular service, this is up, this has been successfully started. Alright, similarly observe when you shut down your system, what happens. Alright, the way it displays when you're starting your system, similarly it displays a lot of content when you shut down your system. That means it will stop the processes one after the another. So when you have started a system, a lot of processes would be running in the background. Alright, so all this list would be displayed to you at the beginning as well as at the ending of the when you stop your operating, when you shut down your operating system. Alright, so here when I say run level 5, alright, among the list of processes that are running, there are some extra processes which are related to the graphics. Okay, so altogether we'll take some random numbers. Okay, random numbers. So altogether there are 100 different services, out of which 5 are related to the graphics. Alright, so when I run the system in run level 5, all the 100 services are running in my system, including graphics. So when I go to run level 3, it will only consider 95 of those services. It will not consider the 5 which are left for the graphical part. Alright, so it will leave the services. It will only run excluding the graphical part. So that is why you will not get to see the graphics. That is called as run level 3. What you can do is you can start your system in run level 3. There you will not get to see any of the graphics, only a blank screen with the command prompt. So the system has not loaded any of the graphic modules. Alright. Similarly, we have other run levels. Okay, if you want to know how to switch between run levels, alright, so there is a command called init. Alright, so init is to initialize. Alright, so init space 3 will start your system in run level 3. Okay, so there are other run levels I have shown you in the file called etc init tab. Okay, in the end you can see that. In fact, your system, when you shut down your system, you do what? Init, that means in the background, I mean normally you power off your system, but in the background the system will take an init space 0 command. Alright, so if you do init space 0, I mean you need to be a root administrator in order to perform these commands. Just remember this, you need to be a root administrator. So if you do init 0, your system will shut down. If you do a init 1, single user mode. Alright, init 2 is multi-user without NFS, and init 3 will have everything except the graphics. Init 4 is unused. Init 5 is your graphical mode. If you want to restart also, you have init 6. Okay, so these are run levels, and this is how you can switch between run level. And I'll talk more about how these run levels work. That means when you do an init space 3, what exactly happens in the background. So what are the files that are being triggered? Okay, how your system, what exactly your system does when you do an init space 3 or init space 6 like that. We'll see. We'll go deep into these run levels and how they are implemented in tomorrow's session. So for now, I usually go by giving a basic overview of what the things are, but these topics do come again and again throughout the session. We'll go to next level and next level like that. We'll go deep into each of the topics. Alright, we started with grep command, so where we have searched for specific strings in files. Alright, we can even perform multiple string search using other utilities like egrep, fgrep and all. We'll see those utilities later, but as a quick start, we have seen how to perform grep, case insensitive search, also how to list the number of occurrences. We have seen all those options using the grep command, grep-i, grep-n. Okay, so we'll stick to limited arguments initially, and gradually we'll explore other available arguments. So next we'll see awk command. Okay, so first of all I will show you a very basic example just to have an understanding of what awk does. Then we'll see other options and other arguments or other ways of making use of the awk command. Alright, we'll take a sample file. I hope you're watching my screen. Here what I'll do is I'll make some entries. Okay, and okay, it's a very basic file. Okay, so here what I'll do is I will apply awk on this. So this file has a few rows and columns, okay, and each element is space separated here, okay. So what I'll do is using this awk, okay, so F is the field separator, okay. This is the basic syntax in order to use the awk command. So here the field separator is space, okay, followed by what I'll do is, I'm sorry, so in the file called test, okay. So if you observe the output comparing the content of the file, basically what we did is we have printed the second column, all right. So awk, the first use case is awk would help you in order to print specific columns, all right. Here $2 is referred to as second column. Similarly, we can print $1, all right, or we can print the last line like that. So this is the very basic example, okay. So going to the next level, what else we can do is we can also set the way we have used the grep command, okay. Similarly, we can also use the awk command, okay. So observe the syntax here. So what we are doing is awk optional match. What is it that we are trying to set? Just like with grep space a keyword, we can also specify a keyword here, okay, and then you can say print something, or you can say if awk is matching this word, whatever line matches, whatever line contains this word, correspondingly you can print all the lines, or you can print specific columns of that line, or you can exclude that line and you can print the other lines, all right. So here, if you remember, there is something called a pipe operator that we have used yesterday. So pipe operator basically helps you to redirect the output of one command to another command. So here, whatever we are doing using awk, whatever output comes, we are redirecting using the pipe command. Here we can use another command on top of that output, okay. So here you can see this example, okay. So there is no field separator, we have not mentioned anything. So we use field separator only when we want to explicitly define the value that we are expecting. So a file can have, imagine a file, it can have space separated content, it can have tab separated content, or it can have, you can even keep the words or special characters as field separators, all right. So if you have a data file which is very complex, you can use the awk command. You can use this pipe and keep on sending your output to the next level, and you can you can process the data, okay. So you can consider these tools like the ones which are very useful for processing your data. You can filter your data, you can perform some operations on top of your data, like that. So the second example here is we are doing another basic operation, okay. What we are saying, I just want to print the first line from this, print $1, so the first column from the grep.txt file, all right, print $1. So here, even if you do not specify, so when we are specifying a field separator, right, so it would be applicable from what? So when you even without applying a field separator, you can say $1, first column, whatever is there, it will get printed, all right. So then if you're specific about the field separator, then it will search for that field separator and it will try to filter the content accordingly, okay. Next, so here we are printing what? $1, $2, okay. So observe one thing, we are printing first column and the second column from this file, okay, without any specific field separators, okay. So here what is happening is, if you observe, there is a comma that separates $1 and $2, but this doesn't mean that the output would also be comma separated, okay. So we will see this here itself, okay. What I will do is I'll remove the field separator here, okay. I've printed, okay. Okay, now $1, $2.